Okay, so we did committing to decisions, we did player advice. Now, what we're going to be sort of working in is the illusion of choice. And the illusion of choice is something that people deal with every day. It's a societal construct, it's what's used in order to maintain order in today's society. Would you like to do that? Yes or no? You have options A, B, or C. Which of those options would you like? The illusion of choice. It's something that we deal with every day, and I feel like when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, a form of escapism, we want to try and step away from that. Some DMs may have a hard time, but here are ways that can take illusion of choice out of your game and put the power back in your hands as a player. Now, this video is good for new or intermediate players, maybe even some experienced players. The illusion of choice can be a problem. Now, not every game can be an open world sandbox. Those can have problems of their own, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. But when you get railroaded, the players often feel separate from their story. They feel like they're not a part of it, which is, I think, is very bad because the player should be invested in their character and invested in what's happening to them. And sometimes railroading can take away from that. So, the DM gives an example. Okay, do you want to go through that door? Yes or no? Now, your answer doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why. Because the DM already knows no matter what answer you do, you have an outcome. He knows the outcome. Yes or no? No, something happens. Yes, something happens. How do you go around that? You say, hey, okay, instead of doing that, which is a no, but you say, out of character, DM, hey Vincent, since I'm the DM in this example, hey Vincent, I don't want to go through the door. What if I want to do this? Oh, okay. Tell me more about that. Now, you should never say, I want to do something different. I want to do something not that. Because I or any DM will say, all right, what do you have in mind? And then if you don't have anything in mind, well, great, you just wasted our time. And that's not to chastise you, but when it comes to game time, and Dungeons and Dragons games can run a really long time, they can fatigue players emotionally and physically. It can be problematic. So come with a game plan. Say, hey, maybe I don't want to go to the door, but what I do want to do is this. And maybe he says, all right, give me a skill check. Or, okay, yeah, use this spell slot that you were talking about using. Or do this, or attack that. Instead of just saying, I'm not going to go through that door, I'm going to leave the room. Because that isn't fun. That doesn't sound fun to you, right? Saying, yeah, I go through the door. That also doesn't sound fun. If you ask and say, hey, what can I do with this? Is there anything I see? Is there anything, what if I try to do this? What if I try and do that? The DM is going to give you ideas, say, oh, okay, this might work or that might work. Yeah, that seems like something that you could interact with and stuff like that. You begin to take the choice and put it into your hands by giving yourself options, and options that the DM has to weigh. Any good DM will respect that and weigh those options and then offer the player something in return. Now, when it comes to A, B, or C, you can do A, B, or C. This is more tricky because the illusion of choice is still there. A, B, or C. What can I A, B, or C? What can I A, B, or C? That sounds dumb. What can I do, A, B, or C? Again, say, this is A, B, or C, right? Those have these solutions. What if I tried D? The DM will tell you, or he should tell you, D will make this person hate you, or D will do this, or D will do that. Or maybe he says, I don't know what D will do. Roll for it. Let's see. Maybe something will work out. And then again, you have, by creating option D, by giving yourself that extra option, you bring the choice back into your hands. And you can give options D, E, C. Oh, I said C. D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, O, Z. I said T, O, Z. I skipped a whole bunch of letters. That's not the point, though. The point is, by giving yourself more options, you remove the illusion of choice. And the DM is forced to respond. Because they say, okay, the narrative I've created, the structure that I've created for this player, or for these players, doesn't work. It's not suited. So what can I do? Okay, time for me to make an adjustment. My adjustment will be adding this. And then all of a sudden, the game changes entirely because the DM sees that you are not only above the illusion of choice, but you are actually creatively thinking and adding to the narrative of this world. Adding to the narrative of your character, because by giving yourself these options, maybe he gave you these options because he thought, oh, this character can only do this and that, or this, and that. But you say, oh, you know what? My character did this a few times. It's really, really good. It turns out that my character's really good at this. I played a halfling monk. I did not have a lot of charisma. Charisma was not my focus. As a monk, my focus was dexterity and wisdom. But it just so happened that when I wanted to do a charisma-based check, I was in there, and I was really successful. So it turns out my monk was this, and he played a folk hero, which didn't have like too much bearing on that. But he played a folk hero, and so at least I don't think it does. I don't think folk hero has any bonus to persuasion. Doesn't matter. He played a folk hero, so that sort of added to this thing. Like you see this like halfling monk, and you're like, oh, what's this guy gonna do? But he has all this built-in and innate charisma. This thing that people are drawn to. He just, when he speaks, people listen, and there was nothing on the skills list or the character sheet, or his stats didn't particularly define that in any way, but that was an aspect, and I think that's really important. So really give yourself the illusion, like remove the illusion of choice, because by giving yourself the options, you provide yourself so much more. And this is in game and in life. So this is like a little twofold advice. Let me know what you guys think. The illusion of choice, I try and remove it from my games, but sometimes it's very tough. How do you guys feel about it? Have you guys been stuck in a game with that? Do you think that these solutions might help you? Let me know. All right. That's it. These videos weren't too long, right? Good job, Vincent. All right. Bye.